Deputy Volwa, can we just talk about the protocol for
sure.
the thing? It's we received this protocol without any consultation whatsoever, you know, of bloggers, and we were told how the committee came to its conclusion. We weren't told how the committee came to its conclusions. All we were told was it has been agreed that no visual footage will be permitted by the citizens' media. Do you, like myself, see that as a little bit dictatorial? We weren't consulted in any way, shape or form. We were just told, you're not allowed to film.
Well, what I understand, I mean, you have to understand, I wasn't at that meeting when the actual decision was made on the 10th of January, so I can't speak for other people. However, the item came up on the agenda on the 10th of January where the 5 chairmen sat down and discussed it. I don't know exactly what went on in those discussions. The first 2 parts, which was as to whether bloggers or citizens media would be able to film, I understand were dissented by 2 of the 5 members, which was Senator Ferguson and Deputy Masson. And the other
Senator Ferguson and Deputy Masson were in favour of bloggers.
Well, they dissented to the decision of not having citizens media. So that's as much as I can tell from the minutes and from discussions. I don't know exactly in detail what happened.
Right, so of course, as the president or the chairman or the chairman's panel, I would, you know, here I am asking you questions about it, and you're unable to give me the full breakdown, you know, of how they have reached this decision.
Yeah. Well, I know that sounds awful, but I mean, if I'd been there at the meeting, I would have given you a full disclosure, obviously, of exactly what was discussed and what happened. Obviously, I wasn't there, and I can only piece together from what I've heard, because obviously when you came to myself about the situation of the HSSH panel, I had to go here, there and everywhere to discuss with different chairmen about not only what was agreed on the 10th of January this year at the meeting that I wasn't there, but also about what happened at the HSSH.
Yeah, we'll come on to that in a second, if that's okay with you. But like the question, you know, do you think it's really acceptable that the letter we got was, you can't film, that's it, we're not telling you why? You know, it's not really treating the public, or bloggers, you know, members of the public, you know.
No, I mean, I accept that. I think you should understand the reasons why you shouldn't be able to film, and I wasn't fully aware. I mean, I believe it was the vice president of the committee. Yeah, but we do keep one thing I'm going to make absolutely apparent now, that my role is to coordinate between all the chairmen and keep under review all the protocols, all the guidelines and scoping documents, etc., to do with scrutiny. We keep those under review, and like I've said to everybody who's asked me questions and in the States, that I'm willing to keep this under review.
Okay, so we still don't know why bloggers are prevented from filming. No. But could you arrange it that we could get to find out why we're not allowed? Because it does seem extremely discriminatory.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I can discuss. Obviously, the filming is on the agenda for the next meeting, and I can certainly discuss it with the other chairman at that point.
I appreciate that. And now, well, getting on to that, because you will be discussing it at your next meeting. What about that I could come and give oral evidence to this next meeting?
You could. We could put it on the agenda.
I would very much like to do that, if possible. I'd like to come and give oral evidence.
I can advise the officers.
I appreciate that. Channel television, because this all came about, I made a complaint to yourself as a chairman about Channel Television, who, in my view, clearly breached the protocols of the, along with the panel chairman, the HSSH chairman, Deputy Christina Moore, who coincidentally worked for Channel Television at some time, for some time. Now, it says in the protocol again that, where is it? It says, here we open, the accredited media wishing to take visual footage will be permitted to do so for the first 5 minutes of the public hearing, and may not take any footage of the public, but only those present at the table. Now, this is in the protocol, okay? They're not allowed to, they can only film for the first 5 minutes. But what happened is Channel Television turned up and towards the end of the meeting, and then choreographed a scene with the panel chairman who used to work for Channel Television. It's a clear breach of the protocol. But what's going to happen about that? What can be done about it?
Well, as you can see from the correspondence we've had since the official letter that we sent to you responding to your complaint, in the correspondence, the protocols, as I've advised, is guidelines to chairmen. I'm under an extremely difficult position where my role is to coordinate and not to dictate to other chairmen, but I'd expect them to uphold the protocol which has been agreed, and especially when I wasn't there to agree it as well. My role is to uphold those decisions that have made by Chairman's Committee and ensure that we're all sticking to the same hymn sheet, if you understand where I'm coming from, consistency. But this was an example that, and I agree, it was a breach. I have spoken to Christina about it, and hence the reason why it's on the next committee meeting, because I think we need to make it extremely clear exactly, if this carries on, exactly the sanctions, if we can put sanctions in place. But as per I've said, that we have no regulations or legislation that enables us to actually sanction people.
Well, that's right, because Channel Television have got, as we said in the email correspondence, they've done something very similar to this before, when they gave assurances they wouldn't film members of the public. Then they filmed members of the public, not only a member of the public, they filmed an abuse survivor who subsequently received intimidatory threats. So they've got form in this, but the truth is, as far as I see it, there's nothing you can do. What are you going to do? Are you going to say to them, right, you can't film our panel meetings? They know, and you know, you need the media over here. What can you do? What's the point?
Well, I'm going to meet with the media to make it exactly clear the fact that this Chairman's Committee are absolutely paramount on ensuring consistency in terms of protocol. I would love to turn around and say that absolutely no way. If you carry on breaching our protocol, there is no way that you're going to be filming, etc., etc.
But you lose out if you do that. This is what,
well,
and
to a certain
this.
extent, but if you look at the way that they use the actual film footage, you have to look at actually how it helps in a certain extent. They use a 5-10 second clip during an interview of maybe a 2-minute chat with the minister.
Well, that's right. It's typical soundbite sort of stuff.
Yeah, but it's just a visual, a quick clip visual of the panel. And it doesn't actually, it's nothing like, for example, you have with Select Committee in the UK, whereby they can take extracts of the actual hearing and you can see exactly and hear exactly what is going on and understand the role, even more so, of scrutiny, which helps public engagement.
Right. So I'd like to get on to, like, that's the accredited media. We know, you know, Channel Television have clearly breached this, but the thing is, bloggers like myself have adhered to, by the letter, we have adhered to every protocol that's come out, no matter how harebrained these ideas have been and how dictatorial they've been and how discriminatory they've been. We have adhered to them, to the letter. As a blogger, personally, I've interviewed people from Deputy Trevor Pittman to Senator Philip Oziff, from Senator Sarah Ferguson to Pittman, Jeff Southern, a whole diversity. Not one of them have ever accused me of misleading, of misquoting them. In fact, I've been complimented on it. That's no mean feat, is it? Because the same can't be said for the accredited media, the state media we call them. So why are we bloggers so discriminated against when we haven't broken any rules, any laws, and we've been complimented by just about everybody we've interviewed?
I understand, but that goes back to exactly the Chairman's Committee meeting where there was 2 dissents and 3 in favour of the decision not to have citizens' media involved. And like I've said, I'm keeping it under review. That decision was made in January. We've had 1 Chairman's Committee meeting since then, and we'll have another one on the 13th of March, whereby I'm bringing it back onto the agenda and we'll be discussing it at that meeting.